Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the historical roots of modern mind power philosophies. We're going to synthesize the fascinating, highly influential works of three early to mid-20th century pioneers, Joseph Murphy, Charles Fillmore, and Robert Collier. Together, they essentially built the framework for how human thought literally shapes reality, a blueprint that still completely dominates today's self-development culture.
So let's just start right off the bat with a profound question. What exactly is the master secret of the ages? Well, according to these three authors, it isn't atomic energy, it's not thermonuclear power, and it's definitely not space travel. Rather, they argue that the greatest discovery in all of human history is the untapped, miracle-working power hiding right inside your own mind. It's an energy source they claim can completely transform your health, your finances, and your relationships.
Section 1. The Master Secret Discovered.
To really understand how this works, we first have to grasp a foundational theory that all three of these writers share. They believe the universe operates on a dynamic vital force that directly responds to human thought. Robert Collier calls this force the universal mind. He describes it as a supreme intelligence that humanity is inextricably linked to. Basically, we aren't isolated at all. Our minds are like little inlets connected to an infinite ocean of wisdom and supply, just ready to be drawn upon at any given moment.
Section 2. Programming your subconscious mind.
Okay, so if this infinite power is out there, how do we actually interact with it? Well, Joseph Murphy argues it all comes down to a really crucial split in our mental architecture. You've got your conscious mind, which is the rational, thinking part. Think of it as the watchman at the gate, filtering information. But then you have your subconscious mind, which is the creative executor. And here's the catch. The subconscious doesn't argue, it doesn't rationalize. It blindly accepts whatever assumptions the watchman lets through that gate, and then it works tirelessly to make those assumptions your physical reality.
And this dynamic perfectly explains why so many of us struggle. I mean, think about it. From childhood, we're just bombarded by negative suggestions. Things like, you can't do that, or you're gonna fail, or it's no use. If your conscious mind, your watchman, falls asleep on the job and doesn't actively block those statements, your subconscious just accepts them as absolute truth. It then acts as a self-fulfilling prophecy, literally building those limitations right into your daily life.
Section 3. The Atomic Power of Thought.
Now this gets wild. Writing in 1949, right at the dawn of the atomic age, Charles Fillmore proposed a genuinely radical theory. He said this mental programming isn't just some psychological trick, it's actually a physical atomic process. He looked at the atomic bomb and drew this fascinating parallel, claiming that the immense energy hidden inside the atom is the exact same spiritual energy historical figures used to perform miracles. For Fillmore, thought is literal energy.
Under Fillmore's framework, just as a literal electric current can pull solid metal out of an acid solution, human faith acts as a mental electric current. Faith provides the voltage. It actually stirs your brain's electrons into action, accelerating natural laws to physically manifest the exact things you're focusing on.
Section 4. Focus, your secret weapon.
So, if our thoughts seriously contain literal universe-altering power, how do we make sure we don't just create total chaos in our lives? Robert Collier argues that having a million scattered wishes basically guarantees failure because it just dissipates all your mental energy. Instead, concentrating your mind on one dominant desire acts exactly like a magnifying glass focusing the sun's rays to start a fire. You have to mobilize the entirety of your subconscious toward one single outcome.
Collier points out that doing one single thing exceptionally well is the ultimate rule for success. Take the Salvation Army, for example. They gained immense fame during World War I, not by trying to do absolutely everything, but by serving donuts to soldiers incredibly well. Or look at how Napoleon won battles by concentrating all of his artillery on a single point of attack. You literally have to be able to look at your goal and say, this one thing I do.
Section 5. The Mental Blueprint.
So how do we practically construct the blueprint to direct this force on a daily basis? Well, Collier breaks it down into 4 really actionable steps. First, you have to create a crystal clear mental image which acts as your mold. Second, you need the knowledge that you are actively drawing in that vital force from the universal mind. Third, you apply faith to crystallize that force into your mold. And finally, you have to take physical action. You actually have to do something in the real world to convince your own subconscious that you truly believe the process is working. We can actually see this blueprinting applied directly to everyday life in Joseph Murphy's super practical methods for marital problems. He basically says instead of going to sleep angry, couples need to actively overwrite their negative patterns. By radiating peace and goodwill to your partner right before you go to sleep, which by the way is when the subconscious is completely unguarded and receptive, you are quite literally reprogramming the foundational energy of the relationship.
Section 6. Unleashing your inner genie.
Moving beyond personal peace, how do we manifest tangible career success? Murphy outlines a specific path for this too, but there's a really fascinating catch in his third step. It's not enough to just find what you love and master it. He insists that your goals absolutely cannot be purely selfish. For this mental circuit to be fully complete, your desire has to benefit humanity. If it's solely for your own ego or personal gain, the universal circuit breaks and the power just stops flowing entirely.
Robert Collier completely agrees with this, noting that the true law of attraction is actually a law of service. It literally requires giving a little extra value than you are paid for. By consistently putting out more energy, more skill, and more value than is strictly demanded of you, you trigger the universe to return that investment to you exponentially.
And to put the sheer importance of this unseen power into perspective, get this, Collier estimated that a staggering 60% of the factors producing success lie entirely outside of our conscious effort. Just think about that for a second. More than half of your success relies completely on how well your subconscious is cooperating with the universal mind, rather than just the daily grind of your physical actions.
So, since these authors claim your subconscious is constantly listening, never sleeping, and literally always building your physical reality based on the mental images you provide it, the ultimate question you really have to walk away from this explainer with is this. Knowing that your thoughts are acting as the literal atomic blueprint for your life, what are you going to choose to feed your mind today?